Welcome back to the Quantum Peak podcast, the show where we explore how leaders are using AI automation and software to drive the next era of digital growth. I'm Pratish, founder of Quantum Peak, where we help tech and service firms use AI to generate leads and automate manual processes. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by Rikhi Pal Singh, a marketing and biz dev leader at Sachhsoft, a company that's been making waves in custom software development, digital transformation, and helping businesses scale through smart, efficient technology. We're diving deep into the story behind Sachhsoft today, the technical decisions that drive their success, and the trends that are shaping the future of software development. So let's jump in. Ricky, glad to have you on the show. Welcome.
Thanks, Pratish, for having me here today. We'll look forward to our conversation and see that how we can contribute to the industry and the market that you are catering to.
Absolutely. So, Ricky, to start off, for listeners who may be new to Sachsoft, can you share the origin story? How did the company begin? What problem did you initially set out to solve? What's your mission, purpose, and what are the current customers that you're really helping in the market today?
Sure. As an organization or a team, we are a very young team, 3.5 years old by now. We started with the simple idea that I've been into the industry, and people who are along with us, they've been in the industry helping solving problems, whether it is on the consumer side, whether it is on the tech side, mostly as a business automation. So we put a team together, acquired first project that was just in the test project C for the both side, for us as well, to test it out, like, okay, whether we do an excellent job, and even a test from the company who gave us a project. And the same project we scaled up from one person to 35 plus people on that specific project, and brought some brilliant results for their software enhancement that they wanted to have from us. And that became our our strength, our track record of our journey. And from there we always scaled up and we acquired more projects. That's a story.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, starting small and then growing and evolving. Yeah, that really works well. If you were to segment your customer base today, like who would how would you characterize that the different classes of customers that you're catering to?
Mhm. As an organization, we are standing on three different pillars. One is that purely a dev side, where we do custom development or writing up code from scratch, or enhancing any existing software which is in the market for business health. So that's there we target more as an enterprise client or businesses who have already build the technology for themselves. They just need to enhance. So that's one segment. The second segment is backend and support services, be it at the backend of a tech or be the backend of any product or any services they're offering in the market. And third segment could be a startup, a small business who has less digital footprint. So we scale them onto their digital side, whether it is from their digital marketing or automating some of their processes or tools, which can help them to grow their business and scale that up. So to answer it well, there are three segments. One is enterprise clients, second is like mid-market clients, and third is startups or any small businesses which need our services. So we have three types of customers. We cater to all these.
Nice. Cool. One thing that stands out about Sachsoft is the focus on tailoring solutions to the specific business and not just forcing businesses to adopt, a pre-curated tool or solution. So it's basically solving real business problems with custom software. So can you touch upon why off-the-shelf tools are not enough anymore, and what types of challenges are companies bringing to you, most often these days?
I would say in that regard, it's always a scalability. So if any off-the-shelf tools or any pre-existing tools which businesses are using, that has certain limitation, because either from the integration side or understanding the core business problem that business is facing and why they did implemented that thing. So when our tech team plugs in, we make sure that what is your vision, what are the areas that you need to correct by adopting a new technology, and if required, we write a code from scratch or custom build for them on the same lines, whatever is already, like taking a reference from the existing tech stack they're using, or if needs a complete revamp, we do that. And the best thing is that we do it very bespoke and in a very a tailored manner that cost implications are less. So it's not like if you have to revamp your technology or revamp any of your software. So I know there's a big ticket into it, but we plug in our team in a such a way, and we also cut the cost at least like 25 to 30% on any custom software that which needs to be developed to help that business.
Hmm. And how long is the typical deployment or build to testing to deployment, that whole like pipeline for a typical client of yours? How long does that process take?
Probably between 45 to 60 days, we have more clear path with them. So initial discussions, understanding and absorbing their product or their project, and then aligning our team members and allocating resources, and then create a plan, say within 10-15 days, and then next to the whole, like either development or deployment, both.
Yeah, cool, very cool. And then how do you ensure customer success and really becoming a long-term partner for the customer rather than just having a transactional relationship? So what's the culture and philosophy behind becoming embedded with the customers in their journey?
Client first, that's what we always believe, that they're important, and that's why we exist, and stay on top of their problems, their challenges, and on the communication. And there is a saying in our team that work can stop, but communication should not stop. So people have to update, people have to stay on top of whatever they're delivering to the client, and that has been helpful for us. So when I say like work can stop, that means like weekend falls or some some people take their break. Okay, definitely they can take a break, they can enjoy their time. But if any client needs an update or anything needs to be known with the client, external or internal, we need to update that and stay on top for communications.
Yeah, no, that's super powerful, right? It's often overlooked aspect of running projects or running a business, but I think over communication rather than under communication always helps. So you would rather err always on the side of over communicating rather than the other way, where there's that just creates opportunities for misalignment. So you guys are in the right space.
We always working on to it, improving it day by day. We, as a whole team of 75 plus people, we all work remotely and different time zones. So we make sure that those timelines are matched. Delivery is not hampered with any of the time zones or availability of anyone. So that's another area that we work on.
Right, cool. How do you balance innovation and stability? So how do you innovate fast without sort of breaking your reliability aspect, right? So enterprise customers want enterprise grade solutions. So how do you maintain that quality and benchmark while still innovating fast?
It's very a deep dive question, or it needs very deep thought onto this, and how do we do it. But as I said, like there are three segments of industries we cater. If it is enterprise, then definitely we get a good blueprint from them and get a complete understanding of what is the project about and where they're heading and what solution that we need to create. So that is slightly I would say easier or a comfortable spot for us, because we all come with 25 plus years of experience with the market as individuals in the team. On the other side, the startups is where the innovation we have to kick in, and building something from scratch where we do a lot of business consulting. We also, when we take any of our client on board, primarily from a startup, we also look at the impact they're making into the society, what problem they're solving, and where it will impact. Anything which goes in a different direction or is not relevant to the growth or the scalability that we have imagined for them, we generally try to not stay away, but we just give our say that, okay, we'll build your MVP, but we'll not be able to scale it up because this doesn't is not going far for us, or it doesn't have the product doesn't have that longevity in the market. um, and even other challenges or understandings that we get is like a lot of people are adopting AI to build something from a vibe code, or and they that's good to create some project or some product line, but it's not scalable. It's not the vibe code is not scalable. So that's another area which we try to balance, that if someone comes and say like, I just want to build an AI, okay, if it is agentic, perfect, we will build something for you. If it is MLM, then we need some time to build that MLM for you.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah. No, absolutely. I think it's a great approach. How you look at the different market segments and how you sort of tailor your solutions appropriately.
right. And the other thing is that we become a technology partner. We are like a doctors, right, for that technology, and we cannot guide someone wrong. Like if it is a startup, we cannot build their tech stack and just for the sake of building it, and it's not scalable. No, we don't want to do that. So we always want to have how we say, like, measure twice and cut once. That's what we apply. So
Yeah, cool. Do you see more and more companies moving like from legacy systems into modern frameworks, and trying to move into AI automation? Like, what's that customer signal looking like in this day and age?
right. I mean, yes, the curve is there, adoption is there. A lot of people are adopting new technology and modern framework of whether AI or anything which is in a modern automation side. Yes, we have built some of the health tech and fintech, and that's where like everything is most moving towards AI, whether it is under the process side or whether under the product side or consumer side. So a lot of AI adoption is happening on that side, and definitely it's productive, but it will still take its own time to be where it can be. So AI or any automation tool is great to keep a track or control your policies, procedures, or customer updates, or your sales update and all things. That's really helpful too, and that adoption is happening.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about like real impact, right? So without, let's say, naming a client, if confidentiality is a concern, do you have a project where your team came in and made a meaningful impact, maybe transformation that accelerated growth or removed a major bottleneck? Any story that you'd love to share as a case study?
Sure. We have one of our client, which is purely in a health tech, a woman-centric product, and they wanted to build in a web and a mobile solution for their consumer, for their user, and it was heading both into B2B and B2C segment. And we scaled them up their technology in such a way that they entered Med City. They got their first round of funding, $3 million, and got second round of funding as well, and they have gone big, and that becomes their legacy trademark in a lot of health tech buzz we created into that side, more from the technology side. And the other thing is that more as a custom software development. So that was a startup, and the cost that we offered was always like 40% lesser than what other people quoted them. So one is that we build on a lesser cost for them, scale them up in a such a way, and and they have been continuously working with us, and we have signed up them as a technology partners, or we have been signed up as a technology partners with them.
Cool. I think that's a great story. It's very powerful. And listeners would really appreciate, hearing these real world use cases, behind the technology. So
Yeah.
thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, this is one of that, and there is another product software which is purely for certifying the used devices into the secondhand market. They came up with a challenge that their specific software which has been built for them can only process, say, 30 devices in 1 minute. That means the device has to be certified, make sure that all parts are working and are working, be it a mobile phone, be it a MacBook, or any of your IoT device. So we scale them at that. It crossed 100 devices in a minute. So that's also like, we enjoy that that scalability and the growth of that product. It took us long. It took us 3 months to solve that problem and that challenge for them, and they were able to enter new markets with that, and even they could ask some of their customers to stay back with them who were leaving them because of this challenge. So
that's remarkable, actually. In 3 months to get like the 3x improvement, and that's still pretty phenomenal. So kudos to the team.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I mean, the fact that you guys are a very geographically distributed sort of team, how do you build this strong engineering technology culture, and what do you think makes your team different or special with the fact that it is geographically distributed?
Good question. I mean, it happened with the mindset that we wanted to bring on board talented people, and we didn't follow the generic path of bringing people on board. We always went to our network and said, like, hey, we are starting this, and this is what we want to build. If you want to come on board, we'll work with you. We can offer you flexibility, we can offer you a growth, but we cannot offer you the corporate things, being very clear, like, because corporates is more big structure. We are still a manual process for some of our internal things, and people liked us, and we started building a team. And the other idea is that we always wanted to build end-to-end teams. We never wanted to hire someone for as a freelancer or some resources just to deliver the project. We always wanted to build in-house team. So the structure that we build is like CTOs, and after CTOs there is a PMs or product owners, then there front-end, back-end developers, and then QAs, and one of the whole gamut can be managed by an account manager. So we added at least like all the multiple layers to have a good quality work and also maintain the relationship both externally and internally.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's a great framework just to get the whole team organized. And I'm sure it's reaping good benefits, right? So the reward is going.
It is. I can add on to it, like, whatever clients we acquired 3 years back, they're still with us, and the core team is the same. We, yes, people have left us for various growth reasons and all, but the core team of the whole structure is still the same from the beginning.
Yeah. No, very cool. So just looking forward, right, into 2026, where would you want to be? 6 months down the road, a year down the road. And then if you could solve one major challenge in the business today, and I'll give you 3 options. Let's say, making more money, acquiring more clients, that's option 1. Option 2 would be saving time by internalizing or automating processes. Or 3 would be just leveraging AI sort of for both fronts. So which one would be the top of the list?
I would say for 2026 we have a different approach now. We want to acquire more clients from the startup side or tech startups and provide them in-house solutions onto the tech side, and also reduce the founders or anyone who is building some product or service in the market to reduce their challenge that from where do they get the business insights and the business funding. So we want to build in a private equity kind of a segment under the same banner that we are working now. So that's the direction we are taking, and we've been talking to multiple incubation and launchpad studios for startups to bring them on board and help them onto the technology is a strength. We do have built enough network in the market where we can get investors and put them in a one room and give them a platform to perform and grow with it.
Yeah. No, I think it's a great vision to have. 2026, and how do you see the other two pillars of the business where there's some back end support along with some marketing? How do you see those two vectors or those two pillars evolve?
So those, yes, they are also seeing a growth, and with that experience of 3.5 years into doing that, back end services, somehow a lot of referral clients are coming, and that in that segment we're also entering into building some solution for those businesses and provide them some solution from our side that okay, since we have been given this services you from past 2 years or 3 years, I can reduce more cost. I'll develop something for you. You use it and automate these processes. So that's another area we are working on to it for our backend and sports services system. And for digital marketing, it's always always growing. Everyone needs digital marketing, and everyone needs a social footprint. So there's a totally a different market for it. So we're not chasing. We don't want to be an agency to make it clear. We want to be purely seen as a tech company which does a development and scale. So development can be purely onto your hardware or software that you need development. Okay, we'll develop that. And the other side that okay, a business need some funding, some investors and all things will bring it for you. And the third is that you need some scalability, will scale you up onto the digital side. So we we don't want to be purely an agency based company or just a service.
Cool.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So last piece would be, what would be your advice to tech leaders, founders, CTOs, early stage entrepreneurs who are listening in? What advice would you give to someone, who's choosing a software development partner? What should they look for? What should they avoid? Pitfalls, things to index on?
Interesting. Our often discussion with startup and founders, I always believe that it's a nature of that foundation that they're always patchy. They have some segment covered and all this stuff. But if their product or service is purely based on to tech, so have a right team to build your tech with the scalability vision of at least like 4 or 5 years. You don't have to come back and rewrite the code or rework on the things that you wanted to build. So from our side, as I mentioned earlier, that we give a clear vision, clear path, so that you start building your product on a very foundation level, and it can go where your vision is like more than scalability. And that's what I advise any tech founders and any people who are building a product, that adopt the right technology and the right team in the beginning. That's your growth. Money will come. People will once your product is established, all the steps that you have taken to build your product. Your tech is still your foundation. It has to be stronger. So build it in the right way.
Yeah, no, great advice there. Yeah, I think it will be super valuable to take that in. Perfect. Rikhi, this has been an awesome conversation. Thank you so much for joining us today. And for listeners who want to connect with Sachhsoft or learn more about your services, where should they go? Would the website or LinkedIn be the right
Yes, our pages are active on LinkedIn, and you can always explore us onto our Sachhsoft.com. And pretty much there, you will see my face in Sachhsoft as well. So
Yeah, awesome. I'll make sure to include those references in the show notes. And yeah, thanks again, Rikhi, for being here, and thank you everyone else for tuning in. Yeah, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, share it with someone who will find this valuable. And yeah, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you on the next episode very soon. Take care. Bye.